Bum 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 bum. The Peter Dislike Show. Bum 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 bum. I want to organize a single strike where all singles take a day off of work just for one day to demonstrate our contribution to the economy, right? If we all went on strike for one day, it would quickly be realized that singles deserve respect and dignity at the workplace and equal treatment at the workplace, right? So I work with a lot of people who want to have family values in their life, right? They want some work-life balance in order to take care of their kids or even to take care of a spouse. It's all great, right? I don't have a problem with that, actually. Even during the pandemic, there were times when we were working over Zoom, kids would show up on the screen, spouses would show up on the screen. I never really had a problem with that. The real problem came when I didn't. You got to remember, a lot of people don't. I'm going to say this on behalf of all singles. I'm going to say something that seems like common sense, but a lot of people, in the midst of chasing all of these family values, sometimes gets lost. For a lot of singles out there, looking for that future life partner is almost like a full-time job in its own right? With its own set of frustrations and expenses, constant performance reviews, right? And all the rest that go with it, right? And a lot of people, and not to mention, at the moment that they're single, all of their household chores are magnified, right? They have to cook for themselves, they have to clean for themselves, and they have this commitment to go look for that future partner. There, I said it. A lot of people don't seem to recognize that, right? Good luck trying to negotiate that. Imagine at work, right? I have a colleague who wants to have work-life balance to take care of his or her kids, right? Which is great, right? Imagine I bring up to my boss, hey, you know what? Looking for that future life partner in order to have kids is pretty time consuming too, right? Can I have a day off from time to time to do that, right? I don't think that goes very well, but I think in a perfect society that should just come right from the heart, right? And I don't know why we have this two-tier society, right? The people who have already met the right person get all these benefits to enjoy, but the people who don't have this barrier that they have to overcome in order to go get it, right? And I think part of the reason we have such a high divorce rate here in the United States, it's what, 60%, is that we don't pay a lot of heed into marrying the right person to begin with. There's not a whole lot of societal accommodation to meet the right person, right? There's a lot of garbage that people go through in order to meet anybody they in sight, and then they get divorced, and then they leave a mess behind with the kids, right? Who end up also following in their parents' footsteps, right? In other cultures, it doesn't work like that, right? I've traveled to Japan, I've traveled to Taiwan, I spent a couple of weeks in Poland, and there's a lot more community support to find that right person in the first place, rather than on the back end when you have to get divorced, right? We have much more support for divorced people, right? I've worked with a few colleagues who had former divorces, and we're much more accommodating to those people than on the front end of divorce prevention, right, in the first place, right? And I don't seem to understand why, right? You can only imagine if you're on the outside looking in on this. Can you imagine? Earlier today, we just launched another spacecraft to Jupiter. How Jovians on another planet look at us and how we don't support meeting the right person in the first place, and then we get divorced down the road, and then we leave a mess behind. Can you imagine how badly they are shaking their heads right now, right? And so I think a one-day strike, it doesn't even have to be a violent situation. All of us singles, if we took one day off work at once and everything shut down, no TP at the store, your favorite vacation destination stopping, right? You can't fly to your favorite vacation destination. Your favorite restaurant will be closed, right? Kind of like COVID, but in recognition of singles and how quickly everything collapses if you don't accommodate singles, right? I just want to be able to demonstrate that, right? I choose October 24 because it's Evelina Falenta's birthday, and so I really like how she see here in the United States we have another singer songwriter who also has probably the same kind of sexual orientation as Evelina Folenta, but here in the United States, as a multi-billionaire, she ought to be ashamed of herself for trying to follow mainstream media and get in one bad relationship after another, and basically telling everybody that that's the way life goes, right? Even if you're auto-romantic, right? I think she ought to be ashamed of herself. I think it's kind of selfish of her, right? All right, so October 24, go on a strike as a single. This is the Peter Dislike Show. Bum 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 bum. The Peter Dislike Show. Bum 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 bum.